No, I've been in the act of suicide. I didn't want millions of pounds as a. I didn't want to really hit a bestsellers. All I wanted was for people to read it and get my point of view. The book includes my view of life, and life. We should value life, and shit does happen. And when it does happen, there's ways to get over it, and there's ways to deal with it. And it's whilst it's telling a story, it's also got a little bit of me in there, and that's what's important to me when I write a book, is that I have a little bit of me in that story as well. So when people are reading it, they're reading my thoughts, my feelings, I'm changing opinions, and I'm making people take action even through fiction. That's what's important to me. The money, nice, but there is that underlying level as well. So just know what you want, guys. Have a think about that. If you right at the beginning of your writing journey and you've not published anything yet, obviously you can think about that to your heart's content. If you've already published, might be a bit late, but just backtrack a little bit, just sit and think, okay, if I were re-releasing this book, what would I want to do to achieve my success? Because success is different to different people.
Can I ask about self-publishing?
Yes.
Just shops generally, W.H. Smith, Waterstones, how do they feel about taking your books in to sell? Does that happen? Or
Have to be careful. W.H. Smith, fantastic.
Right.
Absolutely fantastic. We've just completed a book tour with them last year for Bluetooth, which is my kids' book, which was the illustrated one you saw here earlier.
Yeah.
Myself and my co-author, who's my father, we did a tour with W.H. Smith. Could not have been more helpful. But when it comes to actually taking stock for the shelves, everybody's a little bit, and not because...
Is that because it's self-published?
No,
or?
it's not. They're not going to look at it and say, don't want that, it's self-published. If it sells at a book signing, say if you sell 50 copies, that's 50 copies more than some of the books in there are sold in a month. So it's not about the fact that it's self-published, it's about whether or not they think they can sell it and whether they've got the shelf space.
Right.
Yeah. One of the guys in W.H. Smith's, I can't remember which branch it was, but one of the managers explained it to me a little bit better, and he basically said that for all the stock that they take in, they have a budget. So if they want to get in some of the big best-selling titles, David Walliams, Harry Potter, it eats into the budget for how many books they can order in. So, which made perfect sense really. So whilst they will invite you in all day long to do book signings because they're effectively getting free money, just for having you sat there that day, even if you want to sell one, that's still what, £6 or something in their pocket. So approach them, get to do as many book signings as you can. At the end say, sold 30 copies, I don't think that's bad. Can I leave you a few for your shelves? I can add them on if you want, or we can do it a different way, sale or return. Give them the option. Lots of them will say yes, lots of them will say no. And everybody wants to see the book in Waterstones, don't they? It's just that, for me, that's the ultimate, I've made it, I'm in Waterstones, because I love to shop there. And I'm sure if it were Barnes & Noble in America, it's the same thing. But they all have their own submission process. If you go on their website, usually if you scroll down, where terms and conditions and stuff are, in the bottom in the footer, there's usually a link that says, sell through us, or publish with us, or independent authors. There's always a link, and it'll tell you exactly what their process is, how many they take on, and you'll be able to submit your book that way. And that's all I'll say to you. Do loads of book signings with whoever, Waterstones, W.H. Smith's. When you've done, say, 20, then submit it, and in your submission explain that you've been doing book signings with them and how many you've sold and how well it went, because it might just sway that decision. Stores have got an awful lot of authors coming to them asking the same thing. It's like when people submit to my company, I can't accept everybody. I'd love to, and I would love to say yes, 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 but I'm one person. So for them, they're probably thinking, well, one store, we've only got so much of a budget, By all means, come and do 6 book signings with us, but they may not be able to. And if they do, it will be that store rather than nationwide.
Yeah.
Promote now. Oh, we've had no marketing.
Yeah.
We don't like marketing.
It'd be good if you could just do the book and then somebody else did all of
It would be
If
wonderful.
you're willing to pay for it, that's an option.
Yeah, but even though you pay for it, sometimes you pay for that and then that don't happen. So
a big question I get as a publisher is, well, I'll send you it, but how much marketing are you going to do?
Yes.
And I go, right, I'll do your marketing, I'll send you press releases out, I'll get in touch with local media, I'll contact bookstores for you, it'll go on social media, and you reel off all the things you're going to do, and then they sort of go, so you don't do paid promotions around, and it won't be, you can't guarantee it's going to be in TNA. Well, no, because I don't work for the TNA, I don't work for BBC. I can send it to them. If they say no thank you, they say no thank you. There is physically nothing I can do to force that into their channel. But it is equally as important that you guys as authors do what we're doing for you as publishers, because we can push your book as much as you want, if there's never any sign of you on social media, if your website's not in existence, if you don't publish a blog, or all these things you can be doing, if you are nowhere to be seen, it is literally tumbleweed. People can't make that personal connection to you. So it's really, really important that you at least have the very basics, and that is some kind of website, some kind of social media. I know I don't even like social media now, it does my head in, but I have to do it because it's important for my business. So sometimes we have to do things we don't like to do, and this is one of them. Marketing is one of them. Learn how to write a press release, learn how to write a mission statement. These are all things that, as a brand new author, you're going, I've just finished writing a flipping book and now you want me to write a mission statement? What the hell is that about? But this is all really important stuff that if you learn even just the basics, if you get it wrong, it doesn't matter, but you've still got that experience. It's something else that you can add to your list of things I've tried. Because when people say to me, well, I've tried everything and it just won't sell, so I'm just going to send it to you and you can sell it for me. Well, if you've tried everything, let me see a list of everything. And sort of go, well, actually, I didn't think of this, and maybe I can try this, because there is no such thing as I've tried everything. So, what your mission statement is, why should people buy from you guys and not J.K. Rowling? What does your teenage book about magic have that that book doesn't? What makes you guys so special? Why would I buy from yourself and not from you? Why would you buy from me and not from my competitor? It's all a personal thing. You've got to make that connection with your readers, which is why you'll see me all over YouTube. Tons of videos on YouTube. I make a complete fool of myself. My cat attacks me halfway through one of them. I spill wine on one of them, but it just gives people that, oh, she's a good laugher. She's down to earth. She's all right. She knows her stuff at the same time, because I've learned a little bit from the video, but, you know, it gives that, it connects people to you, it makes you more human, and people will buy from you.
How do you overcome diffidence?
How do I overcome
How does one overcome diffidence?
diffidence? Video on my YouTube channel on that. Literally went up Thursday.
Diffidence means you're hesitant to promote yourself.
I would play it for you, but there's no sound on the doodah,
Okay.
so...
I think I'm with you there, because I think it's I don't know if it's an age thing, but certainly when I was growing up, you know, you weren't supposed to, especially for girls,
Push yourself.
you mustn't push yourself forward.
And say, I'm marvellous.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
so
that's a sea change
if
now.
you don't blow your own trumpet, who's going to blow it?
Exactly, I know that, but it's
Yeah.
going over years of commission.
Yeah? If you don't sit down and think, I know I wrote this, but damn, I'm alright, this is actually pretty good. You know, and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you read through it and you think, well, I am the worst writer in the world. It's never going to sell. I may as well just quit and live in a hole for the rest of my life, because it's so embarrassing that I'm never going to want to be in the public eye again. But everybody feels that way. I feel that way. Stephen King feels that way.
Yeah.
We all feel that way. And, you know, you might give it to somebody who reads it and thinks, well, what, bag of crap that one? And they'll put it down and they'll never ever read from you again. But equally, you might give it to somebody who goes, wow, this is special, this is ace, I'm reading everything that person, and when you start getting Facebook likes, reviews, you start getting subscriptions to your website, you start getting subscriptions on YouTube, that tells you that you're doing a good job. But you do not need anybody to validate you as a writer. If you write and you enjoy what you're doing, you're a writer, and that's that.
Well, I think you should have that as a strap line.
Yeah. Don't let
Look,
anybody
look at
else, bad reviews, good reviews, I sometimes don't even read my reviews. Do not go on Goodreads and look at my books. Just don't do it, because some of them are not good, guys. Some of them are fantastic, some of them are not good, and I don't go on there purposely because A, I don't understand Goodreads, it's confusing, and B, I just don't need that kind of negativity. I want to carry on enjoying what I'm doing as a writer. And if some people don't like it, well, that's up to them.
Yeah. Well,
You
quite,
can't please
yeah.
everybody, and you shouldn't aim to please everybody.
Because we all like to read different
Yeah,
books.
and you
Anyway,
should be targeting a
yeah.
specific group of people
different
anyway.
style of writing, whatever.
Yeah, so I know that it's hard sometimes, and you sit and you think, I am the worst writer that has ever existed. I should just quit now. Well, do you know what? Quit, and then maybe you will be, but prove yourself wrong. Keep
That's
going
really
and prove
important
yourself
when you
wrong.
said, because, you know, in the writing group I'm in, people have sent it to publishers, and some like it, some don't. And, you know, it's like you've just said, don't aim to please everyone, because some publishers will like you, some people will think, oh, she's good, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really important.
It's physically impossible to publish everybody,
Yeah,
and you
yes.
shouldn't be aiming at everybody anyway, because you write a specific genre, And you know, you can't write a crime book and expect people that read fantasy to love it.
Yeah.
I liked what you said at the beginning when you said like don't write something that you expect people are going to want, because you get that advice quite a lot of like, oh, look for the gap in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.